What's up, guys? My name is Phil. Welcome back to Miranda Detailing, and welcome to another weekend wash. So guys, in today's weekend wash, we're going to clean up the truck and the trailer. In fact, we're going to be going away the beginning of this coming week, and we want to clean up our Sequoia because we're going to be bringing that up north, up to Boston to visit our parents. More news on that later this month. Hi, buddy. You're distracting me. Oh, poor Mister. Gotta have his attention. So if you're wondering why Mister looks so pathetic and skinny, it's because he had a lot of knots from the winter on his side, so we had to clip them, remove them. That's why he looks a little pathetic. Plus he is old and deaf and maybe losing his mind a little bit. He's still happy though, even though he's an old boy. We don't know how old he is. A little dizzy, huh? So guys, we're going to be using a variety of products today. In fact, I don't even know exactly what I plan to use further in the video, but I know what I'm going to use to wash the vehicle. We're going to experiment a little bit. And I know other guys have experimented with this, but I want to try it out for myself. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to fill up an empty foam cannon bottle with the Hybrid Solutions Wash and Wax. Why? Because I just want to see what happens. I'm not going to dilute it. I'm just going to fill it maybe about halfway and shoot it out of the cannon and see what it does. Does it foam up? Does it add any type of benefit to doing it that way? We'll see. But I want to use this soap just because it's very slick and it does put some protection onto the vehicle and onto the trailer. And as usual for our degreasing phases, for cleaning the wheels and tires and any other grungy parts on the vehicle, I love using Super Clean. Yeah, you can use any other all-purpose cleaner you want. Meguiar's Super Degreaser is awesome. Their all-purpose cleaner, the Meguiar's Citrus Power Cleaner Plus is also great. You can use Optimum Power Clean. You've seen us use all those different products, but I still love Super Clean. With the aerosol can, this stuff is awesome to use on tires and wheels. It's a very controlled, nice foam. And you also have their all-wheel cleaner. Now, with this stuff, this is considered an acid-based product. So even though it says all-wheel, just be careful on bare aluminum and any other delicate wheels. If you're dealing with anodized wheels or custom matte finish wheels, you may not need to use this. But if you do use it on those wheels, make sure to pretty much rinse it almost right away. Agitate and rinse right away. But this is a very powerful, strong wheel cleaner. This stuff is great to use on any chrome or clear coated wheels. Now we're also going to use another product that I got here from Blackfire, Pro Detailer's Choice, their Iron Remover Gel. I'm going to use this on the back of the truck and see if it removes anything. I know I already used Meguiar's Decon on it, and it did remove some iron particles, but I want to see if this can remove any more. And then for the protection part of it, well, I don't know yet. We'll kind of see as we go through the video what products we'll use. So guys, I know a lot of you have been asking about the trim part on the Sequoia. So let's go take a look at that first, and then we'll begin all of the washing. So guys, let's take a look at the trim. If you want to check out that video, I'll have a link in the corner. But as you see, it looks like almost everything has washed off by this point. And it's been a few weeks of rain, and I only washed the vehicle once in that time. But remember, it was just one coat of the products on here. So we had the lithium trim serum, we had AM trim, and then we had CarPro Pearl. So as you can see here with the line, the tape line that was here is our control. Yeah, not much is left there. Everything is pretty much gone. But you know, this gets a lot of traction in and out of the vehicle, and it gets a lot of road grime. So let's wash it, and we'll use something else on this trim. So here's the condition of the paint. It's been a few weeks since we washed it, so it's definitely gross. We've been using it on some of our mobile jobs, and of course the front wheels always get nasty. So let's clean these up really well. So like I mentioned, I'm going to fill half the bottle of the foam cannon bottle here with the Hybrid Solutions Wash and Wax, just to see what it does. And even if it doesn't foam up the way that I want, it doesn't really matter, because even if the soap is on the paint, I'll just wash the paint with it, and I'll put a little bit in the bucket, just about that much. Whatever I don't use, I'll pour back in here. That's why I'm not going to dilute it also. All right, so let's go with that. So I'm going to start on the wheels here, and just to see its ability to clean, I'm going to put this in the wheel bucket, and I'm not going to spray any cleaner on the wheel at all. No super clean, nothing. Just because I want to see its ability to clean. Hi, buddy. Oh, it smells good, huh? It smells nice. Now I'm not even going to rinse it. It's cool anyway. It's the morning. I haven't driven it at all. So let's just see what the cleaning ability of the Hybrid Solutions Wash and Wax is on a really nasty wheel. And this is an extreme case. You usually don't do this. I just want to see what it can do. Can it clean, and can it actually add protection onto the wheels? We'll see. The product is very enjoyable to work with because it does add some slickness and it smells great. All right, let's see what it does. That's interesting. So I just rinsed it, and look how it responds on the wheel. Huh, very interesting. It pulled off a lot of brake dust. I'm just going to agitate a little bit more, maybe because some of these areas I missed. And even on the tires, I didn't even spray any degreaser or cleaner on the tires. But look what it did to the wheels. There was no protection on these wheels. There was nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, keep missing those areas. Its ability to clean is pretty awesome. Now granted, the brake dust isn't burnt on, but still, it's a couple of weeks of built up grime and brake dust on these wheels. And you know how nasty these wheels get. So now, it looks like I waxed them. That's pretty awesome. So that is just wash and wax in the wheel bucket on nasty wheels. That's pretty awesome. So now let's use all-wheel cleaner on the wheels and the foamer on the tires. I love the control of this. This is nice. And you can see it start to dissolve all the nasty stuff. It starts to break down all that grime and nastiness. And now let's spray the all-wheel cleaner on the wheels themselves. And yeah, I'm not rinsing anything. It's fine. Everything is cool. And I still do have a little bit of the Hybrid Solutions wash and wax on the brush here. So we'll see if that still creates some beading action or not. So it looked like it created some beading on the face of the wheel, but nothing on the wheel itself inside these spokes. So a little bit on the face. I wonder if it makes a difference if I apply any of the soap on here, but there might be too much degreaser. Oh, there we go. So even just adding what I have here in the bucket, it's nasty water with some degreaser mixed in with the wash and wax. As long as I apply it and rinse it, it actually adds a little beading. That's pretty cool. Not bad at all. All right, I'll get all the other wheels done and then we will start on the body. So this still is beading water. It just looks dry when it's dried. But it still beads water, so there is still something there. And I put lithium trim serum on this months ago. So I don't know why this is holding up so good, but it is. So I did put some protection on the side here. I actually forget what I used. I'll have to go back and check. But the hood is pretty much dead. I think I had used Technician's Choice ceramic detail spray, so it's still hanging on. Up here, not so much, but it's probably just dirty. So let's foam it down and wash it. Nice. That's beading up nicely now. Doors still look good. The panel here, a little bit of a slower sheeting action, but it almost completely dries with that sheeting. And now the hood looks good. So it adds the protection right away. Onto the glass, pillars. There was already protection on those two doors there. Here it's still slowly sheeting away, but definitely added protection. That's pretty awesome. I got a little bit of soap back here, so it's already starting to bead. So the cleaning and beading action of using the Hybrid Solutions wash and wax and the foam cannon, really good results. Again, doesn't foam up like crazy, but it's simply applying the soap to the vehicle completely. And I think that helps tremendously. So it really only used a few ounces to wash the entire vehicle. So I think doing it this way might be a little bit more economical because you don't have to use a ton of it. You're just applying it to the vehicle immediately. You're getting it on here quicker. So the results are pretty awesome. True, this vehicle already does have some protection on it. You saw how the sides were beading up when we rinsed it, but that's not a problem. That's what this is made for. It's made for maintenance. It works. It works great. So let's try this new iron remover gel from Blackfire. It's a thick gel format, and I want to see if it picks up anything on the back here. Plus I am going to put it on the wheels in the front just to see if it, again, picks up any contaminants, any iron particles on the wheel. I have to say, this stuff smells really nice too. It actually smells like cherries. If you guys are familiar with like the NyQuil cherry flavor, that's what it smells like. So that's actually really nice. I don't mind that smell at all. So it's picking up a little bit over here. It is starting to dissolve a few little particles here and there. But I've done that to these wheels already a while ago, so it may not pick up a lot. However, on the back here, look how much it's taking. It is actually starting to dissolve more. More around here, around here. Oh yeah, it's working. And it's a nice thick formula. So I actually prefer a thick formula on the paint and the wheels because it dwells, it sits there longer. Of course, you do want to do this in shade if possible. If you're going to do it in the sun, keep the panel wet and don't let it dry. But yeah, it's working really well, picking up those little iron particles. So that's a good sign. This stuff works extremely well. And look how it dwells. Look how it sits on the paint, hangs there. I think that's really good for a formula like this. You don't want it to just run off too quick. You do want it to hang there and dwell and start to dissolve these iron particles. So is it picking up anything more? Yeah, a little bit more. Just from that little chip there, it's dissolving some of the particles. There's a few more up here, a few more right there. So a few particles here and there, but not a ton. Now you can help it along. You can brush it. You can take a mitt or a towel and agitate it a little bit more. We're just going to rinse it just because I wanted to see what this stuff could do. So I really like it. I like the gel formula. The scent is great. Doesn't smell like a nasty, nasty sulfur smell. It actually just smells like a nice NyQuil cherry smell. And still, the wheels are beading from the wash and wax. That's pretty awesome. Still beading even after using an iron remover on the wheels. How about the back here? You can see it really started dissolving stuff. Let's rinse it away. You want to make sure to rinse this thoroughly. Flush everything away with water and you'll be good. And look, still beading. So even though this is not a durability test of the wash and wax, even after a decon, it still beads. Interesting. I didn't really mean it to be like that, but you can see the results. It's pretty awesome. Guys, let's dry the surface. Already there's barely anything on here. So you're left with a little bit of beads here and there. And look, the sides are almost completely dry. So using this soap is really beneficial because it's dry. There's only a few beads here and there. It sheets away so quickly. Let's talk about this guy. This is called the Chipmunk Junior from Microfiber Madness. More on these towels later. I have it here and I'm going to use it to dry. And look how well it absorbs. That's pretty awesome. So to gently dry the vehicle, wipe it across. Oh, hi.
Hi.
You want to use the Chipmunk Junior?
Can't quite reach.
T-Rex arms. Isn't that nice?
It's so cute. So fluffy.
Appropriately named the Chipmunk because of its design. It's striped. That's pretty cool. So I used wash and wax from Hybrid Solutions and the foam cannon on this. Look how dry it already is. Now again, I did have, I believe it was Technician's Choice on here prior, so there was already beading, but again, the wash and wax from Hybrid Solutions is meant for maintenance, so it should go on a vehicle that already has some protection. But as you saw on the wheel, it cleans extremely well and it adds protection as well. So this is going to make everything so much easier. It provides great sheeting ability so that you can dry it easily. So we're not even gonna have to wring this big towel out at all. Now this is, yeah, it's still pretty much dry. We actually have a ton of these really nice drying towels, which we will make a dedicated video. But if you want to pick up this big fluffy Chipmunk Jr., go to Car Supply's warehouse. Oh, hi, whiner. Really? Really? So now the paint is dry, feels great. Let's go check out some protection options. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
So let's use a few of these. We're going to use some spray options. First off, we have the P&S Spray and Shine. So this is a quick detailer. You can use it as a clay lube or a quick wax protection. We also have the Optimum Car Wax. Now, you haven't seen me use this stuff too often. I'm going to start using it more because it's very easy to use and produces some awesome results. Plus, it smells really delicious. So we also have the Express Spray Wax from Meguiar's, and very popular among mobile detailers. This stuff is also very easy to use and produces some great results. And we also have the spray detailer, the ceramic spray detailer from Meguiar's. So you've seen us use this on one of the videos about working in the sun. This stuff also works very, very well. So let's choose one of these. Let's go with the P&S, the Spray and Shine, and then let's also go with the Meguiar's Express Spray Wax. So I'm going to use the Express Spray Wax on the hood and maybe the front fender here. I'm going to apply it directly on. You can apply it to the towel, whatever you choose, and basically work it into the paint. Flip your towel, wipe it off. Very easy. It's meant to be a spray-on, wipe-off application. Adds gloss, adds slickness, and water beading. Very nice. Instantly adds slickness. Now you can also use this on the glass. So not really a dedicated glass cleaner, but it can be used that way. If it does cause any streaking, just take a separate towel with a little bit of water and remove any of the residuals on here. It, again, will add protection, and you do that each time, and you'll always have water beading and sheeting on your windshield. Again, this is very popular among mobile detailers because of its ease of application, and you really do get great results with this stuff. And it's really affordable. It's in the Meguiar's detailer line, easy to get your hands on it. And you can also work in direct sunlight. And again, if you do get any residuals, any like of that smearing, then you can just get clean towels. Fresh dry towel should take care of that, or a little bit of water. A damp towel will get rid of those residuals on the top. Same goes with the glass. So yeah, use it very sparingly and you won't have any problems. Okay, so now for the paint gloss from P&S. P&S. So again, very easy to use product. Spray on your towel or directly onto paint and glass and wipe it in. Ooh, it smells nice. Just using the same towel, just the other side. Slickness, and you'll get water beading action from this product as well. And it's meant as a maintenance product. So both of these products, the spray wax from Meguiar's and then the paint gloss from P&S, are meant as maintenance products, not just standalone wax products. They layer on top of other previously applied protections, waxes, sealants, even coatings. You can use this on coatings and it's fine. Now, true, if you apply any other type of protection on top of a wax, a sealant, or even a coating, you're going to be masking the water behaviors of that said product. So again, don't overthink it. As long as you have protection on there, it's fine, it's okay. If you're applying stuff like this onto coatings, it's not gonna last long anyway because it's not really gonna bond that well to the coating. It'll eventually wash away and rinse away. Then you'll get the water behavior of the coating. Just don't overthink it. Don't be crazy about it. If you wanna work along with the same company, like P&S, you can apply their ceramic coating and then you can use this on top of it. Usually products like that will bond to each other a little better, but again, don't overthink it. If you're a mobile detailer, have a variety of products on hand because, again, you're working out in the sun. Some products like sun, some don't. It all depends on the paint, how well it was maintained. If it's really in rough shape and oxidized and not glossy at all, a lot of these products really won't do much. They'll add some protection, but it'll eventually wash away because it's not bonding to the paint properly with all that heavy oxidation on there. So prep is key, at least some sort of a light polishing or something like that to make these products last as long as possible. Again, as a mobile detailer, you've priced out your packages, you've designed them for a certain price point and for certain customers. Remember that. Mobile detailing, different than a shop environment. Do not compare the two directly. True, as a mobile detailer, you can do a lot of those things as a shop does, all those steps, but then again, you can't charge exactly what a shop charges. So keep all those things in mind. And I know a lot of people comment about certain procedures that mobile detailers do, comparing it to shops and what they do. Remember, there's differences in pricing, and there's also differences in the types of customers that they have and in the business itself. Two separate businesses, even though they are detailing, two different clientele, two different types of vehicles. So keep that in mind when you're making your comments. Now, I'm also going to show you what I'm going to use on the tires. We're going to try a product here on the tires. We're going to let these tires dry a little bit, but the tires in the Sequoia are dry. And if you remember, I had applied the Optimum tire coating on here and it's starting to flake off. I wasn't really impressed with it. It could be the tire, it could be a number of things, but I prepped it with Optimum Power Clean. I cleaned it thoroughly. You know, when you have a product that you have to prep with such extreme measures where people will criticize you and say, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. If it's that much work, I'm going to ditch the product because that's ridiculous. It needs to be an easy application. So I'm going to try this Total Recon from Extreme Solutions. It is a foaming type of dressing. It can be used both exterior and interior. It's water-based. And it says it gives a wet look, but that depends on if you want to wipe it down or not. I'm not a big fan of using it on the inside, but because it is a foam and it's kind of weird. But let's see how it does on the tires. Nice wide fan. That's nice. That's easy application. Let's go to the front tire and we'll apply liberally. That's pretty cool. Now this is going to be in direct sun. Try to get every square inch of it evenly. So I like the application. That's really nice. Nice thick foam, nice wide fan. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to put the same stuff on the trailer tires. Nice even application. It's still a little wet, but I'm not worried about that. We'll see how it works, even if it's not completely dry. Nice. All right, so we'll let that settle and we'll come back and see what it looks like in a few minutes. So it's been just a few minutes and already you can see how the foam is broken down and it's working into the rubber of the tire. I might wipe this down, we'll see. I'm gonna let it dry completely and see what it looks like. So now it's been about 30 to 40 minutes or so and everything's dried down on the tires really nice. Now if you like this look, just leave it, it's up to you. Or if you want to wipe it down, it will kill the gloss a little bit if you want to wipe it down and avoid any sling or anything like that. But for just a simple application, the foam application, it gets into all these little ridges and nooks and crannies really well. What do you think, mister? Really? Skinny boy. This is a little patchy, but it's because it was applied on top of the other Optimum tire coating that wasn't really bonding properly, but still looks pretty good. Same goes with the trailer tire. I can actually wipe this down a little bit, work it into the rubber. It was a little bit more wet, so that's why the little drip marks like that. So I'll wipe it down, but it'll look great after it's all wiped down. The finish will look really nice. So after washing and rinsing and letting everything dry, you can see that the trim here, you can kind of see the tape line still, but it's pretty much all worn off. So it was just one application of the product. Lithium trim serum, AM trim, CarPro Pearl, and the ceramic liquid wax. It was still beading water, so there's still something there, but the restorative properties are pretty much gone. So let's try something else. So I'm going to use some of the P&S paint coating surface prep, and this is basically a strong IPA mixture with other things added. Again, prepping the surface as best as I can as a mobile detailer. If you're going to be using products like this, remember, I like to try to mimic what I would do on a mobile setting. Not in a shop setting, not in a shop environment, in a mobile setting. So we'll let this dry. Here's what we're going to use. We're going to use Pinnacle Natural Brilliance Onyx Trim Restore. I've used this stuff before, and I have a video coming out soon on a really old Jeep that we restored the trim on. So we're going to use it on half of the trim here, and we'll let the other half go. So I'm going to apply it to the two sections right here and here. So this stuff is pigmented black, and you see it restore the plastic right away. I'm just using a little foam applicator here that I cut into like a little quarter. And to get into these little ridges, you can use whatever you want. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to work with what I have here instead of trying to get a brush or anything else to try to get in there. I'm not worried about it. You can use whatever application method you want. And work it into the plastic really well. If you get it onto the paint, don't worry. Even if it dries, you can still wipe it off. Just don't let it cure on there like that. These products do require curing at least 12 hours. But again, real world situation, this vehicle sits outdoors. As a mobile detailer, I would apply this, and if the person doesn't have a garage, well, then they don't have a garage. And we'll just have to deal with its durability on that level without having it indoors in a shop setting or anything like that. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to apply it onto here. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to just stop right there. And I'm going to take a towel, wipe it off the paint, and work it into the plastic a little bit more, wipe off any residual. So here's what it looks like. It looks really nice compared to the rest of it, right? So I'm going to leave it there. Went right to that edge there, and this plastic is really beat up, but it does look much better. So this stuff is pretty awesome. It's great as a restorer and protectant, and I'll have more videos on this later. So we'll see after it cures how long it lasts, its water beating properties, all of that stuff. But as far as the other products on here, they're pretty much washed away. The lithium and the AM trim they're barely hanging on. But again, it was just one application, and these areas are the worst. They get foot traffic, they get grime from the road. These areas really get beat up a lot. Most likely, the best thing to really restore this would be to use a permanent trim restore ceramic coating of some sort, either G-Technic C4 or CarPro Deluxe, something like that, which I will get to that soon. I want to try some of these other products first before I use a ceramic trim restoring product. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wipe down the tire just to even out the dressing, and that looks really nice. I think it's a great finish on this. This is just a trailer tire, so nothing fancy. I think it does a great job of making it look nice and dark and rich. Really stands out against the white wheel. It's perfect. Okay guys, that's going to do it for the weekend wash. I know there was a lot of information in here, and I hope you were able to get some value out of it as well. Now let's talk about the Hybrid Solutions wash and wax. So to kind of recap, here's how we used it. We used it in a foam cannon. It says right on here, it's not recommended to use in a foam sprayer or foam cannon. So the recommended usage is 3 ounces per gallon in a bucket, and to wash per panel or per side and then rinse off. So for mobile detailers, it's not quite an advantage that way. If you're washing your vehicle at home, that's one thing, and it's easy to do it that way. But for mobile detailers, we need something that is quick and effective. And I think I may have stumbled across a way of applying and using this shampoo that will speed up the process while still getting great results and using less product. What I did is filled half a 32-ounce bottle, so about 16 ounces, in the foam cannon, and I washed each side of the vehicle. Now you saw I didn't really foam up that great, but that's not the point. The point was it was applying the shampoo, the soap, right onto the vehicle quickly. And then I used the wash mitt with no extra soap in there, just water. I used the wash mitt to agitate to clean the surface, and then rinsed it with water. Immediately, you saw results. You still got beading, you still got sheeting. Now granted, I did have some protection on the vehicle already. There was the Technician's Choice ceramic detail spray, but it was really already dead on all the top surfaces, still hanging on to the side surfaces. But as you saw, I didn't do any real pre-rinsing or APC rinsing, so there was no traffic film removal. Don't get hung up on that, because if you have a vehicle that's already protected, you have waxes or sealants, you don't need to use strong detergents or degreasers to clean the paint. The whole point of waxes and protection is to protect the paint and not have things bond to it as much. I know we can go down the rabbit hole of that. The vehicle already had protection. It was just a basic, simple wash. So using the foam cannon in that way, you still got amazing results. It cleaned the paint well. You got your beading and sheeting action after your rinsing. And here's the kicker. I used probably about 4 ounces at most. Now, that's not bad at all. For the entire vehicle, you're not using a lot of water. The only water you're using is to pre-rinse and then rinse the shampoo off. That's not a lot of water. It's not a ton of free-flowing water, a couple of gallons in my bucket of water. So already you're not using a ton of product. To wash a vehicle with a gallon of water with only 3 ounces of soap in there can be a challenge. You want to add at least 3 gallons in your 5-gallon bucket, at least, to be able to wash the mid out in and so forth. So if you're going to dilute it properly, that means 9 ounces of product in 3 gallons of water. We used about 4 ounces of soap on the entire vehicle. It was very quick, very efficient, and the results were awesome. So guys, I don't know, what do you think? I think using it in a foam cannon, even though you're not getting tons of thick foam, that's not the point. The point is quick application and using less product. It's pretty cool. So guys, let me know what you think. Don't go overboard on the math. I know I only used about 4 ounces. The water that I used in the 5-gallon bucket was about 3 gallons, and whatever water I used rinsing the vehicle down was minimal. So don't overthink how many gallons of water I used. I'm talking about the efficiency and using less product with the wash and wax. I just dried it with the nice Chipmunk Junior towel that I have here, and it didn't even need to be wrung out. I just hung it here to dry, and the vehicle is glossy and protected for our little road trip. Now, what about the cleaning aspect of this soap? I had a couple of comments in one of the videos that we did washing our vehicle with this when I was demonstrating what it can do. And the comment was I prepped the surface or cleaned the surface and then used the shampoo to clean it. Why did I prep the surface and pre-clean it? It was to show the protective abilities. It was to strip the panel and then use the soap to see if it would actually bond and have a beading and sheeting surface. It wasn't to prove its cleaning ability. Don't get hung up on the cleaning ability of some shampoos. Yes, there are higher alkaline shampoos that are strong, that are meant to degrease the paint and break down certain waxes and sealant and dirt and traffic film and all of that stuff. That's not what this product is designed to do. This is a maintenance product, so it's not going to be acting like a detergent type of wash. So remember, there's different shampoos for different reasons. This one is meant as a maintenance shampoo, so its cleaning power is not to be compared to other types of stronger shampoos. So here's what we did. We cleaned that front tire and wheel with just the shampoo. No degreaser on it. We didn't even rinse it. We just poured a couple of ounces in the wheel bucket, foamed it up, and cleaned it with just the soap. Did it clean? Sure it did. Could you have done the same thing with any other product? Yes, you could. But the point is, it's adding lubricity, and then it adds a nice layer of protection. Remember that each shampoo is going to have their place. Some are detergents, some are maintenance products. Some may have other types of conditioners and gloss enhancers and waxes in them, and some are strictly a strong alkaline detergent wash. Don't mix those two. It all depends on what you're washing. Are you washing a vehicle that is, well, kind of well maintained and at least protected on a monthly or bi-monthly basis? Then use a maintenance type of shampoo. Don't use a detergent wash that is going to strip away all sorts of protection and dry things out. There's no need for that. Use those strong detergent washes only on really nasty vehicles when you're doing a detail on them and they haven't been detailed in years. But on vehicles like this that I wash on a regular basis and apply protection onto, then this worked perfectly. But does it have cleaning ability? Yeah, sure it does. And to wash a nasty tire and wheel like that with this soap and get amazing results, well, you saw the results, so you can make up your own mind on that. So guys, here are some things to keep in mind when you are comparing different detailers and different detailing products and tools. We have a variety of different detailers. Some are in a shop environment that do very high-end vehicles, and they have a certain standard, a certain procedure, and maybe certain tools and products that they deem to be the best, and certain techniques that they also deem to be the best. And then we have other mobile detailers and detail enthusiasts that have their own set of standards and ways of doing things. Do not compare the two. True, it's both detailing, but remember, when it comes to businesses, we may do things a little differently, but we are still going to be giving the customer amazing results. So be careful not to criticize or compare a high-end shop detailer to a mobile detailer. Two completely different settings, and even though some of the methods and tools and techniques and products can kind of cross over to each other, don't compare the two. And remember to listen carefully to what we're trying to show you. It's very difficult to prove or show certain things on this type of a platform because, for one thing, you're not here seeing what we're seeing and working on what we're working on. There are so many different variables that come into play. If you're in a shop environment, well, those variables are drastically reduced because you're working in that type of a setting. But as mobile detailers, depending on what country you're in, you're dealing with environmental factors, heat, humidity, you're dealing with also other pollution factors as well. In different countries, you're dealing with other chemicals that might be on the road. You're also dealing with trees and different seasons that may actually drip and drop all sorts of nasty stuff onto your vehicle. That can affect durability of products and an assortment of different things. So remember, so many different variables when it comes to detailing in your demographic, depending on where you live, depending on the weather, depending on environmental factors, all those things. So if a certain product isn't quite working for you, don't blame the product and don't criticize others for saying that it's a good product, because it may be working for them, but it may not work for you because of whatever reason. And you may not be able to even pinpoint that reason. It could also be the water. Could be the hardness or the softness of your water. So remember all of those factors. Do some research before you start commenting and saying certain things about certain products. Now, of course, I'm no chemist. I don't know everything about the chemical makeup of products. All I know is I will use a product. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I try to find out what variable there is so I can try to make it work, or if it doesn't, then I ditch it and move on to another product. But I'm simply not going to bash a product because it's not working for me. Again, I think about all the variables. It may work for someone else just fine because of their setting, but in our setting, it may not. So think of that before you make comments on certain types of products. If they're not working for you, think of the variables. If they're working for us and you see us working on vehicles and using the products and they're working, well, what more proof can I give you? Someone said that you can also fake it by washing the panel and then putting oil on it and it'll beat up. Well, if you want to believe that, then you really can't believe anybody on YouTube, because it's all video and we can edit the way we want and make it look like it's working. But why go through all that time and effort? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you how the products work and how we use it in our daily business and our daily lives. There's no reason for me to hide anything or to trick you into using a product. Now, yes, do I have products sent to me to use? Yeah, sure. Does that mean I'm now going to be biased towards that product? No. I want all the products to work, but there were a few that I wasn't quite happy with, but I didn't need to give it a bad review. There's no reason for that. In fact, there were some products like the Dr. Beasley's 1201 I wasn't impressed with. It didn't quite work. The Extreme Solutions Polyseal, for some reason, it didn't last on that hood. The lithium clay bar, one of their versions of the clay bar, I wasn't impressed with. But they redid that formula on the lithium clay bar and made it better, and then it works. I have a video coming out on that soon. So guys, you're not going to hear me bad-mouthing or bashing products just because they're not working for me. Again, remember all of the variables. I've heard that many of these products work for other guys just fine. It works for them in whatever application that they're using them. If it doesn't work for me, it could be user error, or it could be environmental factors. Do not criticize other detailers for using certain products and liking them if you don't like them. That's personal choice and their right to choose. Don't take that away from others. If you don't like it, that's up to you. Keep the negative comments to yourself. I know I went on a little bit of a rant there, but many of those things had to be said because things here can get heated and a lot of people just don't have the intelligence to think it through and think about all those variables. So I had to kind of say my piece and get that through to some people. And they're not really going to understand if they truly are hard-headed or ignorant, but whatever. If you're enjoying the videos and enjoying the channel and you want reality, then that's what we're going to give you. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned from it. Please like it and share it with others who may enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe and click that bell. That way you get notifications each time these videos drop each week and you don't miss stuff. And again, if you want to try any of the products that we use today, then check out the links in the description below. You don't have to get everything that we recommend. If something's working for you, then great. But if you want to try something new because something isn't working for you, then give some of the other products a shot. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a safe week. Take care.